Hello there, eighth graders. Happy Monday. I'm excited to see y'all today. We are going to continue our unit on triangles. So on Google Classroom, you will see a link to a CK12 textbook titled Understanding the Angle Measures of Triangles. So now we have learned that triangles can be measured by length of sides. So the length of sides. Or the angles. We are going to be focusing on understanding the angles of triangles. So we're going to understand, we know that triangles can be split up into a couple different types based off of the angles within it. We can have an acute triangle, an equal angular triangle, an obtuse triangle. We are going to be understanding how to measure the exact degrees of each angle in a triangle. So without further ado, make sure that you have a pencil and a paper ready to go. We're going to be taking some notes today. You might be drawing some triangles. And just be ready to go here. Pause the video. If you ever need to go back to look at something, you're more than welcome to. I'm also always available via Google Classroom. Happy you're with me here today. And let's just get right into things here. A roof truss is a prefabricated triangular wooden structure used to support the roof of a home or building. The triangular shape is used because it is incredibly strong. A particular roof truss is an isosceles triangle that has this base angle and a measure of 50 degrees. How can the worker figure out the measure of the other angles of the triangular roof truss to ensure that all trusses of the roof are identical? In this concept, we're going to learn how to do this using angle measures of triangles. So let's get right into things here. When it comes to equal angular triangles, so you can see an example right there in the book, but equal angular means that they have the same angles. That means that an equal angular triangle always will have degrees of 60 degrees per angle, right? So 60 degrees every single time. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. We know that. We discovered that a few weeks ago, right? So I'm going to keep that right here, 180 degrees. That's our total, and I'm going to try to keep that up on the page as much as possible. This fact is true for all triangles, regardless of this type of triangle. So it doesn't matter if it's obtuse, equal angular, acute, they will always add up to 180 degrees. An equal angular triangle has three equal angles with each measure of 60. We know that. So you could see the diagram of an equal angular triangle right there. Each angle equals 60 degrees. So let's look at another triangle here, guys, to see how this transformation can be applied. So we have triangle A, B, and C. So A, B, C. A, we're trying to figure out. B and C, they're saying this is an isosceles triangle here. B and C both equal 25 degrees. They each have an angle measurement of 25 degrees. These are acute, right? If it's less than 90 degrees, it's 25 degrees. We're trying to figure out how many degrees is angle A. So we know that we have to equal 180 degrees, right? We know that. That is our goal. So what can we do to figure out how many degrees remain? All three of these have to add up to 180. Well, we could just subtract them from 180, right? So we have 180. That's our starting. We have to have that amount. So minus, and how many other degrees do we have? So we have 25 for angle B, 25 for angle C. So going through our math here, pause if you want to do this on your own, but make that a 7, carry over. 10 minus 5 is 5, minus 5 is 0. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 1. So angle A has to equal 130 degrees, right? Because if we have angle A, 130, angle B, 25, and angle C, 25, those all add up to equal 180 degrees. Alrighty here. So let's do another example here, and then you guys will be done for today. I'm actually going to have you try one of these on your own, okay? So for today, our last example, we have a triangle right here. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Let's erase. So we have triangle A equals 70 degrees, or angle A equals 70 degrees. Let's see. B, C, C equals 70 degrees as well. How many degrees would angle B be? So we know that angles have to equal 180, right? 180 minus 70 for angle A. Let's just get rid of that first. It would be 110 minus 70. Bring down the 0. We know that's that. So what's 11 minus 7? 4. So we would know it would be 40 degrees. Right? So ladies and gentlemen, today is not meant to be a very hard day. It's meant to just get your toes dipped in the water. If you want to continue with Tuesday's lesson, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, guess what? You're already done with math today. If you want, you can take a look down below at some of the practice and get an idea of what you need to do there. I'm going to leave you with a practice question, however, that you will need to do and have written in your notebook. So we have this triangle right here, if it ever loads. Angles Y, or X, Y, and Z, right? X it's a right triangle, right? If it's a right triangle and Y is 30 degrees, how many degrees would Z equal? So copy down this triangle that I have right here into your notebook and try to figure out how many degrees is Z. So X is a right triangle, which equals how many degrees? 90. And we have 30. Add those up and subtract it from 180. So figure that out for tomorrow. Come back with that and be ready to go here. All right, guys? You have a great day. All right, coming back here on Tuesday, we are going to continue along. Remember, yesterday we started our unit on how to measure the interior angles of triangles. So we know that triangles have to equal 180 degrees, right? That is our ultimate goal. You know what? I'm going to clear up the page. So we know that they have to equal 180 degrees. Always, 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 always. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to highlight it. They always have to equal 180 degrees, guys. So for example, we have a triangle. Triangle D, E, F. We'll just do yesterday's example, actually. Yesterday's triangle, D, which is your X, was a right triangle. How many degrees is a right triangle? 90 degrees. Nice job. Right here, we have a triangle that equals 60 degrees. So we have to add those up. What's 90 plus 60? 150. So what's 180 minus 150? It would get us 30 degrees. So that's our answer from yesterday. This one has to equal 30 degrees. I'm going to go through here and erase everything. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. I know this e-learning or this distance learning gets kind of old after a while, but I'm really happy that we are all here together and that we're working. Remember, you can always contact me via Google Classroom. All right, let's take a look at example 1. Earlier, we were given a problem about the workers with the roof truss. He needed to figure out the measure of the interior angles in the roof truss. How can he? He can use the facts that the triangle is isosceles. What does that mean? It's isosceles. That means that they share similar sides. Two of the sides are similar, right? And we know that the interior angle for one of the angles that correspond with the isosceles sides are 50 degrees. Now, if we know that one of them is 50 degrees and they're the same size, that means that both of our base angles are going to be 50 degrees, right? And this is going to be angles A, B, and C. Now, we need to figure out what this angle is right here. We need to figure out what angle A is. So all triangles have to equal what? You're right, it is highlighted right there. It's 180. So we have 180, and we have two 50-degree angles. So we're going to minus 50 twice. So what's 180 minus 50? It is 130. What's 130 minus another 50? It would be 100 degrees. So that's what we're missing here. A is equal to 100 degrees. Rock stars. Or sorry, A is equal to 80 degrees. I don't know why I was thinking 100. 50 plus 50 is 100. So you guys, even teachers can make mistakes, right? 50 minus 50 is 80. So A is equal to 80 degrees. All right, let's look at example 2 here. Example 2, my friends. If the measure of the vertex of an angle, isosceles triangle, is 50 degrees, what is the measure based on the base of the triangle? So we have a triangle that looks like this, right? Triangle A, B, and C. That's a 6. That's not a C. Right? We know that the vertex of an isosceles triangle is 50 degrees. So we know that this is 50 degrees. And we know if this is truly an isosceles triangle, we are trying to figure out what the size is for B and C. So it goes right here and right here. That's not what I meant to do. Thanks for your patience, guys. So we're trying to figure out B and C, right? Because B and C are the same, have the same angle measurement. Oh, that's infuriating. But life is all about making things work. There we go. All right, so we're trying to figure out B and C. I have no idea why it keeps on erasing. That is wonderful. There we go, my friends. Alrighty, so B and C, right? B and C are the same. So we know that if B and C are the same, that we could just find the difference between 180 and 50 and then divide that by 2, right? Because angles B and C have to have the same measurement if they make the same size. So 180 degrees minus 50. What does that equal? 180 divided by 50. It would equal 130. Nice job. So we need to figure out 130 divided by 2 is what? It would be 65. Nice job. So angles B and C have to equal 65 degrees each. You guys are rock stars. All right, let's look at example 3. Looking at example 3, it looks really confusing. There's a lot of lines there. There sure are a lot of lines. But my friends, it's not meant to be confusing. Okay, so I'm going to draw this out to the best of my abilities. We know that this line is going that way. We know that there are 2 lines here. Just follow along with this one, guys. I promise none of your examples here are going to be as troubled. So we have 85 degrees for angles X, Y. So this is going to be Z, X, and Y. just to make it easier too, I'm going to rearrange the colors here. So we know that triangle A is 85 degrees. If it ever loads. There we go. So 85 degrees, my friends. I'm experiencing all sorts of technical errors here. Now, we know that right here is equal to 140 degrees, right? So that is an angle X. We're looking for right here specifically. We don't know what that is, but we know that a straight line equals 180. Remember from 2 weeks ago, we learned that a straight line equals 180 degrees. So we know what one of those two angles is. That's 140. So what's 180 minus 140? Pause it. Think about it. It would be 40 degrees. So we have two of our angles in here, so we could just subtract those from 180, or we could look at this work right here. We know that right here, it's 125 degrees, right? So we know that this is a straight line right here. What is 180 minus 125? 180 minus 125. What would that be? 180 minus 125. Pause it, think about it. If you got 55 degrees, you are absolutely correct. So we found out that 85 plus 55 plus 40 equals 120. We found the answer for that one, guys. Wasn't rocket science. I promise none of these will be that hard, though. If you have any questions regarding that one, let me know via Google Hangouts, okay? Always here for you. Uh-oh. My 180, my beautiful 180 degrees erased. Let's figure that out here. All right, here we go. So example 4, we have triangle A, B, and C. Triangle A, B, C. Let's try that again. A, B, C. A, B, C. Now triangle angle A and B are both different. So we have 28 and 37. So we need to do some subtraction here because those have to equal 180, right? So what's 28 plus 37? Let's figure it out that way. 28 plus 37, what would that be? It would be 65. So 65. What's the difference between 180 and 65? Be 115. So we know that angle C has to equal 115 degrees. All right, last example here, my friends. Last example. I have no idea why I'm having so many technical difficulties today, guys. I feel like I'm a Twitch streamer. All right, so we have triangle DEF, DEF, DEF. Okay, so angle D is 42 degrees. Angle E is 123 degrees. So now we have to figure out what angle F is. That is our goal, is to figure out what does F mean? What is our angle that goes with it? So what's 142 plus 100, or 42, not 142. What's 42 plus 123? It would be 145. 145? Why was I thinking 45? 65. I'm making this video at the end of the day, guys. All right, what's the difference between 180 and 165? It'd be 15 degrees. It'd be 15 degrees is equal to F. So that is our work for today. You will have a Google form that you have to fill out, just like our previous weeks. There's also a Khan Academy video located in Google Classroom if you need some extra help, or I am always available via Google Hangouts, and so is Miss Diamond. I hope you guys have a great, great week. Miss seeing you. Hope to see you via Google Hangouts. Otherwise, guys, I want you to know that I appreciate you, and I'm looking out for you. Let me know if you need anything, okay?